Welcome, Aries, to your Shamanic shift reading. It is Sachi, and we are going to take a look at what your current energy is, what your goal is, and then we will take your current energy and transmute it into your goal. Just a reminder that the top two videos with the most likes do get a bonus reading, and whichever reading comes in first gets the extended and the bonus extended for free. So please do remember to click that like button if this resonates. So let's hop into it, Aries. First, your reading's coming a little bit later than usual. So it was for you and Aquarius, there was this aspect of divine timing and understanding patience and understanding how to sort of allow divine timing to unfold and not to try to rush anything. So I definitely feel slowing down type energy is necessary. So anyway, what came out in the cleansing ceremony was Five of Wands in reverse with the Hanged Man, Seven of Swords, and the Fool. So lots of new beginning energy. With the Five of Wands in reverse, it's telling me that you are releasing a blame game narrative. Five of Wands is chaos, conflict. They are playing the blame game here about dates and times and who did that and the finger wagging and all that. You are putting that behind you. You are now in a Hanged Man position, which represents, understanding that you cannot continue the same path. The Hanged Man means it's a dead end and you have to try a whole new approach. So in this deck specifically, the Hanged Man, the Hanged Man in general means seeing things from a different perspective. And sometimes the best way to see something from a different perspective is to literally change your positioning. So here she's, upside down, balancing her chakras while she's doing yoga. And that's giving her a different perspective, like of the room, right? And even like the light that's coming in at this time gives it a different perspective. If she were there at night, it would be a different perspective. So I feel like there's a lot of new perspectives that are coming in that are part of letting go of this failed attempt at trying to do something a certain way. Because again, all it did was bring you this Five of Wands energy, which you are finally getting out of. With the Seven of Swords here, we have contract analysis. So this could be an actual contract that you are, engaging with, or some sort of soul contract that you are renegotiating in some sort of way. But it does seem like you are getting organized. You're sort of getting your ducks in a row is what I'm hearing for the Fool. This is a new journey, right? It's a 0 card because it represents a void point where, the possibilities are endless. So I definitely feel a lot of promise of just new energy coming in for you, which is great. We have Cosmog with Star Protection Reverse, Trainer Cross Receiver, and Lunala using Psychic Shot. So Cosmog using Star Protection, it does seem like maybe you have not been putting enough time or energy into protecting yourself or your energy enough. This is a third eye energy, so you may not be protecting your head space, your mental space, your third eye, and it could be influencing your mental health. And because you haven't put a lot of time or energy into protecting your headspace, it seems like someone else, right? Trainer indicates somebody else's energy is cross-receiving and hearing you and things like that. So it seems like someone has sort of picked up on your psychic frequency of your mind. So this can be like telepathy, but sort of accidental. It's like they are sort of tuning into the station of your mind without your permission. And with Lunala using Psychic Shot, Lunala is the moon Pokemon. So moon energy can relate to the mother figure. It can also relate to just like emotions in general. But with Psychic Shot, it seems like they are sort of shooting something at you psychically. And again, it's because they are basically hearing your thoughts. Okay. So anyway, that's what wanted to come up in the cleansing ceremony. I hope that you are well. As I mentioned, we are going to take a look at where your current energy is, take a look at what your goal is, and then transmute or transform your current energy into your goal. Ooh, we have the Devil in reverse. Yeah, you are letting go of something very toxic. And we know that it was toxic because it brought you the Five of Wands, which is that chaos, conflict, blame game energy. So let's see here. What's your current energy? Aries. Ooh, the World. Yeah, to no surprise, right? The World is the last card of the major arcana, right? And we saw in the cleansing ceremony that you're in the Fool. The World is the final step before one starts into the Fool, right? Which is the new beginning. So you are finally at the final stage. You have learned some sort of pretty big lesson here, so much so that your world has changed. It's when you fully embody the lesson here, and because you have changed internally, now your world has changed. So yeah, big stuff. Good job, Aries. You have finally finished this cycle. I feel like there is something else here with the King of Chalices in reverse. So it seems like you have finished a cycle in regards to someone who is unsafe to your inner child or unsafe around actual children. This is someone who is not emotionally stable or not emotionally grounded. It could reference your own masculine energy of your emotional body, but I do feel like this is someone else. Let's see, what's the light energy here? Okay, I wanted to hit that King of Pentacles. We have Lickitung using heavy draw. So this could have been some like very sort of heavy energy that you had to work through. For some of you, it's very interesting because like the children are drawing here. You may have had some sort of revelation through some sort of like something that the like an actual child, or maybe you were looking back at old things that you did when you were a child where something clicked and you finally understood the lack of emotional safety that this person brought to you. Lickitung is also a very lusty Pokemon. Obviously, it's known for licking. It says, it checks out whatever is around by licking everything. If you don't clean off a spot where it licked you, you'll break out in a rash. So there is this aspect of having a physical reaction to something negative. So it's possible that maybe you were engaging with someone, maybe you were kissing them, or maybe they were actually licking you or whatever, and you noticed that there was a rash on your body, which the skin is ruled over by Libra, which is your sister sign. So this energy was opposing you. So it seems like you can tell through your physical bodily response that this person was just clearly no good. Let's see what's the shadow here. Yeah, third eye in reverse. No surprise there, considering what came out in the cleansing ceremony. So your third eye is in the shadow and it's in reverse. So again, I do feel like you haven't really been protecting your mental space or your third eye, which can be causing some kind of darker mental health issues. All right, let's see what your goal is here, Aries. Okay, we have, I feel like this wants to come out too. Yeah, Ten of Chalices in reverse. So some of you might be wanting to get divorced from a person or something like that, but with the Knave of Wands, it feels like you want to step back into your power. You may be a little bit intimidated by your own energy and your own power right now, but you still want to be working towards it. With the Ten of Chalices here, it seems like, again, some of you may be wanting to get out of a relationship, or some of you are just working on your own power and really don't want to be focused on getting married or having some sort of huge commitment with anybody at this time. Instead, you'd rather have the Four of Wands, which is more of a group or community effort. Everyone is sort of pitching in order to make this thing, you know, aligned. It is a very celebratory card. Four of Wands is also my card of twin flame relationships. You know, two twin flames that are united. Clearly, there are multiple people here. It's sort of like a polyamory type thing in terms of relationships. But it seems like you want to have your soul family, people who are inspired towards the same goal as you. And again, it's not putting all of that energy into one specific person. It's sort of understanding multiple soul mates or soul contracts that you have that all sort of play that role. With the stars in reverse, again, there is this rejection of, you know, here we have a mother with her kids and dog. So this is one of my cards of like being a single parent or something like that. But with it in reverse, it seems like maybe you feel like the stars aren't necessarily aligned for you to get married and have children at this time, or there's sort of a rejection of doing everything alone. It's like, yeah, you don't want to be in the Ten of Chalices type relationship, but you also don't want to have to be a single parent, or again, just sort of someone doing it all on their own, making all the connections, forcing the stars to align for, you know, a specific thing. And again, it feels like more into this Four of Wands, where you are exploring the depths of your power, even though it may be a little bit frightening of like, wow, you know, I have all of this firepower in me, as an Aries would, right? And sort of still moving through it and utilizing your Kundalini or firepower along with other people who are also taking inspired action. So it really is this energy of like getting rid of people who are bad for you, like the King of Chalices in reverse, again, a very unsafe type of person, and not being, you know, not getting into a type of relationship that's like that, and instead going more towards the community and group energy. Let's see, what's the light energy here? Yeah, Trainer, Rapid Strike Style Mustard. So Trainer indicates somebody else's energy, but I do feel like this is you, honestly, because, you know, what I was feeling here, some of you feel like maybe you've already had kids or something like that, but it really feels like a transition into a new era, whether you're a maiden or, you know, whether you're a child stepping into your maiden energy, or a maiden stepping into mother energy, or mother energy stepping into crone energy. It really feels like a transition. And again, more community and group relationship. So Mustard here, interestingly enough, he was the Pokemon champion of his region. His Pokemon partner, which was Gengar, had passed away. And after that happened, he grew very depressed. And he started like losing all his battles. So he actually gave the championship title over to his grandson, I believe it was. And then he decided that he was going to leave. He bought an island, and he started a dojo there. So this talks about, you know, understanding the sort of death of one era into the rebirth of another, which again, right now, your current energy is that you've learned the lesson, that's over. It's really about transitioning into this new era. And this is about sort of starting a whole new chapter of your life. And again, whether you are sort of in that maiden, mother, crone, which again can apply to, you know, anyone. It doesn't necessarily have to be a woman or anything like that. But stepping into this new stage, and it feels like sort of releasing maybe what you thought you wanted your whole life. Maybe you were married and you thought you were going to be with this person for the rest of your life, but clearly they're not safe, you know, for you or your children or whatever the situation is. So I definitely feel this, you know, a new era begins is what this feels like, a completely new era. And, you know, he's still successful at being the dojo, you know, running the dojo, and he actually trains people in martial arts, and I believe like helps with like fighting types and things like that. So yeah, it just really feels like this really cool new stage. And again, you're not doing it all alone. There are other people who are going to help you as part of this. And again, you know, he lost his partner Pokemon Gengar, but he ends up getting a new partner Pokemon, right? Which is like the primary Pokemon that you work with. So let's see what's the shadow here. Yeah, dark energy stuck. So yeah, it feels like part of your goal is like, I'm just going to keep the shadow in the darkness. It kind of feels like a rejection of shadow work. Like, I don't want to have to do the shadow work. I just want to move to this next stage of my life and, you know, do it and have people around me that are going to assist me with it. Yeah, fighting energy. And what I was getting is if you don't do this shadow work, there still can be some fighting energy. So even though your goal is to sort of reject the shadow and the dark energy for now, I mean, I'm not quite sure how long you can avoid it. I mean, some people can avoid it forever. Let's get a little bit of clarification about this dark energy that's stuck. Well, what do you know? Haunter using Will-O-Wisp. So Haunter evolves into Gengar, which is the partner Pokemon I was talking about here. So yeah, the thing is if you keep rejecting the darkness, then, you know, the ghost of your past, Haunter, is going to continue to haunt your third eye. So, you know, it's like you can't, I mean, you can reject your shadow work forever, but just know that there will be something or someone that is kind of haunting your mental space. You can still achieve your goal and go through this, but just recognize that a rejection of that darkness of whatever this person put you through or whatever is going to continue to haunt you. Okay. It says, if you get the feeling of being watched in darkness when no one is around, haunter is there. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like that cross receiver that we saw, right? Of someone sort of tapping into your third eye, your mental space. That person is always going to be able to haunt you there. Even when no one's around, you can still sort of feel them around you until you actually deal with the shadow. But that's not your goal right now, and I respect that. So we are going to see how we can transition into a successful next era for you. If anything wants to come out about this along the way, then so be it. But I am going to get you to your goal the way that you want it, okay? I just heard you, like, your energy being like, finally, thank you. Someone who just wants to do things my way. And I feel like that's part of this Four of Wands here, is uniting with people who want to do it the same way you want to do it. No questions asked. You have the same vision. You take the same sort of inspired action, period. Right? It's like you're running the dojo. Who comes in? Not people who are going to try to convince you to shut down the dojo and open a burger shack. It's people who want to learn the things that you're teaching, right? It's people who are aligned with the same vision, goals, etc. that you are. Okay? And that's what we're going to work on. So, as I mentioned, the extended, we will take your current energy and transmute it to your goal. The extended is available for Eagle and Phoenix members only. If you are interested in becoming a member, you can click on the menu on my website and go to subscriptions, and all the information is there. Let's see what Mother Moon would like to say to bring us into the extended. Work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio. So again, with the Knave of Wands, the goal is, even if you fear your power or are feeling intimidated by what you can truly do, you know, there is this aspect of when you set a goal, fear can keep you where you are because there's a fear of failure or fear of whatever it may be. You are meant to work through your fears, you know, with other individuals too, with the Four of Wands, to accomplish your goals. And you will have to work through the fears. Fear is a blockage that you are meant to get over and move through. It is not something that is meant to stop you from doing what you know you're supposed to do. All right, let's see what Mother Nature would like to say as we head into the extended. Meadow, vulnerability. It is going to require you to be vulnerable. Vulnerable enough to say exactly what it is that you want. And people are going to tell you whether they want that same thing or not, right? Desert, Vision Quest. This does require a period of time for you to be on your own, okay? And it feels like you finally concluded this cycle. You're done with this person who's emotionally unsafe, as I've mentioned. And now you're in, right? A Vision Quest is usually when someone would go out into the desert for a certain period of time. They would not have, you know, food or water, and they would end up hallucinating, and they would see, you know, get divine messages from whatever it is that they would have, right? The Vision Quest is one of solitude. So there is a period of needing to be alone, sort of wandering around in the desert. Maybe you're hallucinating too, to understand what these fears are and be vulnerable enough with yourself to work through your fears. And we have Gaia, nurturing. Yeah, it's like after you get out of this period, this like dry spell with yourself of going on this Vision Quest alone, then all of this nurturing, beautiful energy can come in of the earth, right? You're not meant to stay in the desert by yourself forever. That's just sort of to get the messages that you need, so then you can move into this very abundant and nurturing type energy. So it feels like, you know, right now, again, you're at the end, which kind of feels the Vision Quest. It's kind of like your Gengar has passed away, like Mustard, and you're, you know that you're giving up this, not even giving up, you are concluding this chapter of your life and moving into the next one, which will be very nurturing, but you do require some of the messages to step into this new energy. So as I mentioned in the extended, we're going to see how to get you to your goal. The link is in the description box below, and I hope to see you there.